star. Shattered over a tenebristic world below, I be an atheist god. My self-hate is stronger than a speeding locomotive. I've seen souls from project buildings in a single drop because who fears suicide when your home looks a lot like hell, and hell, who's gonna save you? I know. It's gonna have to be me. It's gonna have to be some type of black Superman. Someone to reshape the Statue of Liberty into Coretta Scott, play all sports at all time, go down as one of the greatest of all time, because we black people, you don't have to worry about dying. It's only the symbols that get shot. And it's hard to be faster than a speeding bullet when they're designed to seek out your melanin. Injustice never seems to lead with my skin because it's easy to be a hero when you fly high on courts and move fast through fields, because America likes to move you through courts and hang you high over fields. You try to be a messiah, you'll find your church under fire. Watch the media turn your Martin Luther into Lex Luthor. And it's hard to build new heroes when crooked ideals, what they base their life upon, when their moral high down looks like a burnt down Gotham. This S stands for streets. This S stands for struggle, stands for stolen, stands for sun suffocating so severely something snaps. This ain't no red cape I got on my back. This is a blanket smothered in the blood of black children. I have tried to be there when the world was in its lowest lane, and every time they end my time, I had a dream once. Left it splattered on a balcony. That moment when you don't know if this piece is about black Superman or MLK's ghost. The answer is both, because whenever there's a black hero, the outcome is Malcolm. X marks the spot where you get shot. Do you know what they call a black man who wears a costume? A nigga. Do you know what they call a black man who tries to change things? A dead nigga. Be careful if you want to be Superman. They will put you in a crypt tonight. And your soul will be the others who died for your cause, and they will float, levitating over the globe. You'll be broken stars. I'll be an atheist god because it's death to believe the Jew to be black and a savior. So I ask myself, can I be a martyr? Wear the mask of Martin that attracts bullets like magnetism. Can I sacrifice, be cast as Christ, only to get praised in my afterlife? Because I know longevity has its place, but let me tell you, to know death is certain and still be willing to step in front of the target to free my people from hardship. This is what we do. This is how our heroes are made, so I choose death. Because if the alternative is silence, that is living.
I have spent my weekends having daddy-daughter dates in the emergency room. The good news is it groomed me with the rules to really show a guy a good time like one. I had to forget the regiment my father forced me to remember when attempting to date a new guy, because this will be the most selfless date of a lifetime too. I had to grab my keys. There will be no handsome honey hanging out the side of a drop-top Corvette or waiting at my front door 3. I had to bring a little pocket change, because hospital parking is about as expensive as the Broadway show we would have liked to go to in vending machine snacks, or about the going rate of the stadium nacho plate we would have shared at the Orioles game, so I'm never ashamed to ball out, or to kick that plexiglass at the first chance that those chips won't fall out for. I wear my visitor wristband like a corsage, like a princess at her prom, and then I file it in the back of my mind because I know he probably won't make it to escort me to my I do down wedding aisles. 5, I'm sure to laugh at every bad joke, especially the morbid ones, like when he tells me it's his hope and his prayer to have a disease so rare that his name will acclaim fame printed in medical textbooks, and yes, that would mean that I will be fatherless, but I still laugh at the thought of how cool it really is. I throw my head back and cackle loud, not paying attention to the dying patient, patiently waiting to meet his maker on the other side of the curtain. I laugh like I'm trying to rip hernias into my abdomen, because who knows, it might just lift him from his depression, even if it's just for a moment. 6, I had to learn to listen to the nurse's casket chit-chatter who talk about death as if my father isn't the one who's dying. Speak until the flat line of my worry face defibrillates into a smile. 7, I place my lips against his brow to balance out the scar to stitch labyrinth along his epidermis. 8, I extend love like blood transfusions, IVing memories into his frail arms with hugs. 9, I had to learn to be consistent, because those beeping machines are a constant reminder that his pressure is too low, hot, too weak, that he's slowly becoming useless like a sentence that's incomplete. So
It was all a dream. I used to read Word Up magazine. George Moses Horton was born a slave. Worked a tobacco plantation in Northampton County, North Carolina. Taught himself to read but could not write, so he began composing poetry in his head. He was Biggie Smalls before Biggie Smalls. Sold his freestyles, became notorious. George says, let me tell you about the time my Uncle Tom, my own passage along Drinking Gourd skyline, how I became hourglass with water for sand. He never made enough money selling his poems to buy freedom, but he was able to buy his time. He paid wages to his owner in lieu of working the fields. I led my own search party, became a rusted porch swing, no good reason for anyone to stay. He was the first person to publish a book while in slavery and one of the first to publicly protest his own slavery in poetry. You say, push, get free, walk in your own shackles, use your life as collateral for this dream. In 1909, UNC professor Collier Cobb dismissed Horton's anti-slavery themes. Says George never really wanted to get free, never wanted more liberty than he had. He was just fond of playing to the grandstand. You don't think I wanted to run? Didn't try, didn't bury my dreams. Hope is enough water to drown in. You know very well who you are. Don't let them hold you down. Reach for the stars. When Civil War came, George Moses walked from his plantation in eastern North Carolina all the way to Raleigh, North Carolina, found Union soldiers, joined himself to their stagecoach, becoming the first poet to ever get free on a stage. I pushed. Will you push? Get free, walk in your own shackles, use your life as collateral for this dream, do whatever it takes to like the life you live, because I went from negative to positive and it's all good. Good thing George knew he was free even before emancipation was a shy salesman standing on Massa's front porch. When dust licks your mouth dry as cotton, sun kisses your body so deep it leaves hickeys you can't hide. When your chains drag on the ground like clothes that was never supposed to fit, when your dreams are delayed and deferred and it feels like you will never have more than this, never be more than this, that is when you get free. For George, being free was an ideal. Getting free was an ethic. It was work hard, be more than you came with, come with everything you are, leave it all on stage. George says, you getting free or you just buying time? George says, be ready to die for this. It is the truest freedom you will ever know. And if you don't know, now you know.
Benjamin, George, and Thomas are not America's founding fathers. Listen, I'm the pimp who built this shit in trust. At every chance, I'm unzipping my pants so I can pour out my penis and piss in your mouth. I'm nasty like that. You are my puppet, and I got you held up by my strings. Keep that gun at your temple. It's simple. I'm the pimp who built this, and I put drug dealers on corners so they can make my money, and I put white collars in corner offices so they can make my money. And while you're out here doing 9 to 5, I'm working overtime to make sure the hungry never get fed, to make sure them colored kids never go to college. Keep that knowledge shit out their head. I'm bad. Lucifer ain't got a damn thing on me. I fucked myself and gave birth to slavery. You thought when they genocided Native Americans they were moving west? Motherfucker, they were moving toward me. They call me capitalism. And I slit throats with dollar signs. I'll tie the American dream around your neck and laugh while you lynch yourself for a dime. Your soul is mine. All your thoughts belong to me. I'm the reason women take off clothes and keep a pole between their legs. I'm the reason executive directors bring their work home and never work on working on their homes. My favorite color is green. My only hobby is sex, and I do one hell of a job fucking people over. I rape the rich and I I ejaculate on the poor as to keep my system in check, and the rest of y'all in the middle are like toilet tissue. I wipe my ass with you. Do you understand? I am capitalism. Racism is my son. Gentrification is his sister. The jail system is my illegitimate daughter, and public schools are my badass grandkids. Can't you see? All of your oppression is related back to me. I'm the king in this bitch, and I'm so slick with the shit, I got you thinking you only work for what you need. My blood is made of envy. I breathe death into your greed. You are a slave to me. Bow down. Get this money. Sell your soul. Here's a nickel and a dime. Turn that shit into gold. Become cold, ruthless, destroy any worthless human being you have to. You worship me because I control everything. And I know you thought the devil was bad as hell, but the motherfucker ain't got shit on me. And the more you reach for that monetary peak, you become more like me. And when poverty is thick, and a single mother has to sell her body to dick to feed her fatherless kids. Remember, America never had founding fathers. It always had me, and believe I'm the pimp who built this shit. And you? Well, you ain't nothing but my bitch.
A man asked for my phone number yesterday, and I said no. And I, all 5 feet 8 inches, 164 pounds that don't look like much fight, knew the many ways this could go, was accustomed to the barbaric refusal to accept my rejection, but this man was kinder. Like the hangman that gives you an extra breath before he snaps your spine beneath your own weight. It's crazy how your body will betray you when someone else controls it, but I digress. This man's eyes betrayed his smile and soft voice before he asked again, and this time with the warning of having the right answer hissing behind his teeth. I was tempted to expose myself, to say I'm a lesbian underneath all this makeup you've assumed I've worn for you, but I know the response I get. I've seen the twitch in a man's eyes that shows I've either lost my worth or become their newest conquest, that says they want to put me in my place between him and his bed frame, and either way, I am still hunted. And I, all 5 years in the army, all sharpshooter and combat ready, looked at him and saw headline. Saw a girl beaten to death in alleyway for refusing phone number, and make no mistake, he wouldn't have escaped with my life easily. Both his size and that misogynistic psyche pumping all that blood through his muscles, he would still escape with my breath in his pocket. With his flesh, with my flesh on his boots, with my blood in his belly, but not my number. And as unafraid as I should have been, because a woman's never been murdered for this. A woman's rejection has never turned her into the soil underneath her oppressor's boot. A woman has never been the growl of misogyny's stomach, a tomb of wounds, a man's favorite plaything, except she still is today, except when that man heard my rejection, the way he laughed made my spine contract. The pressing of his lips together made him seem a peacekeeper turned hunter when he didn't get his prey. His dinner, his way, his woman, his number, my number, right? I can't count the number of times that I've weighed my survival against my dignity and come to different conclusions every time the scales tipped. I wanted to tell these men that I am trained to pick you off 300 meters away on a cloudy day with too much wind, and sometimes I do. Other times I package my tongue into a box with a deadbolt lock and lose the key. Because some of these Goliaths are something I'm not always David enough to face. And I am still something that I hate to admit. I am still afraid. I am not invincible. I am still breakable. I am fight, but not war. I can attack, but I know I cannot always win. But I won't say that if you ask. If you ask, I'll pull up my last target sheet from the range. I'll show you the power behind these fists, and my looks always deceive because I don't get to be afraid. Because a man asked for my phone number yesterday, and I still said no. And as he retreated into the shadows, I heard his gun cock, preparing for the hunt.
raps and drum tracks that God has come back. After going back, unraveling all of the ancient history and mystery, in the beginning was me, the all, before breakbeats, books, hooks, and bars, loop samples on MPs or even Jimmy's guitar, just djembes that bang like migraines inside cellular membranes, but when them came, cellular soul became lost. And misdirection, disconnected from self, we mental slaves with no map home, pseudo-conscious drones, plugged in, charging life from the matrix like cell phones. So it seems that the griot has been replaced with a ringtone. So I lit a fire on the tip of my tongue with my heart as an alchemic drum. Tonal hums in the form of ones and zeros. My emotions open a gigantic poetic time portal until I find myself in the ancient kingdom of Kush. Amongst a cipher of griots, smoking Kush. Notepads or pens invested in the blessing, stepped to the center of the energy's intensity and requested, I want in. They laughed and said, brother, not yet, for there's still much on which you must be filled in. As the very origins of my existence are represented, my position divinely commissioned, far before Fox News, Yahoo, and remove scriptures, we direct representatives of Supreme, so this poem could be equated with Nat Turner and Shaka Zulu crashed in the Council of Nicaea with Bibles and blades held to Constantine, tattooing his neck with prophetic inscriptions from pens drenched in manganese and broken dreams for all those who violated ancient sacred languages. This is spoken reparations preemptively placed before imperialistic invasions and slave ships. My cadence can profoundly breathe, and they say that all good poetry bleeds. So these pages are rearranging transatlantic situations, revising middle passages, sending Africans black to Africa across the middle passages. Clear my stanzas, middle passages, where ocean floors reverberate the coral reefs that shake the place like heavy bass laced with break beats, causing continents to reshift and drift back into the shape of the creator, poetic Pangea, as Gaia gathers galaxies, as Shama speak directly to Dogon deities, spitting Coptic Akashic, hieroglyphic calligraphy, written in ancient sacred geometry, but that's when every griot in the cipher began to speak to me. They said, unfortunately, you cannot rewrite his story, but you can write your history, because thee who is given much has a responsibility, much larger than merely the sum of one's parts, for your life is your art, but your people have been torn apart, broken like reopened wounds and C-section wounds. We are life's crack babies, born free inside stolen tombs, with bloody blackened spoons shoved into our windpipe, while trying to gargle the Trinity, divided by 7. I am you are me, and we are God, alone and out of money, bumming for change, trying to catch the last train back to heaven. But who knew the railroad to eternity ran underground? And this verse is haunted by Harriet Tubman's ghost, still trapped on earth, writing poems on the bones of every slave she couldn't save. The spirit presidential change can never cover the cost of reparations that alone revolution. People, please don't throw pins at me. Keep them and help me write a solution. Conclude through convoluted retribution, producing sacred divine blueprints inside of my mucus, using my heart's sacred cadence as the beatbox beyond poetry. This is Langston Hughes and Amiri Baraka meets the Boondocks, because we still continue to consume bullshit music the same way we do chitlins and ham hocks. So I talk like talking drums, blended on Akashic records, spun on turntables without labels, going back and raveling all of the ancient history and mystery from God to iniquity. It's the return of the griot, sent back to save his people. And when I hear the drums, it's like God comes. When I hear the drums, it's like God has come. Listen to the drums, God has come, and his voice shall be heard. Children of the Most High, rejoice, for the griot has returned.
Dear Ben Carson, as a sole African American in the Republican primaries, your likeness has been clouded in whiteness. I'm here to do what your fellow politicians and peers won't do. Boy, I'm about to grind you the fuck up. First off, your political stances are prehistoric. And for a black neurosurgeon, you should know better. Speak out on issues that are plaguing your community. But here you are, endorsing the Confederate flag on private property, as if the South didn't castrate black men because they were property. You went from top scholar to bottom dollar, not a damn worth my time. Every time you talk, I cringe. One, because you became a token for white validation, and two, I imagine your breath stinks from all that dick eating, but I mean, I digress. Some people are far left, and some people are far right. Regardless, in my
Yo. Okay.
Wait. Is it? Oh,
I didn't disrespect you this time. Did the beat scare anybody else? It scared me. I didn't know it was going to get that deep. But anyway, welcome to SoapBOX Poetry Radio. Speak outside the box. How are you, Carlos? How are you doing?
I am.
Why your eyes crossing like that? Oh my God. All right, how are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling and stuff. Doing that art.
Doing that art.
That. Yeah.
That's cool. I don't know where Tyler at, but we might have to fight her, y'all. I don't know. We're just gonna have to all jump in.
On her.
Put the pause on her like a DVR. You feel me?
DVR.
Yeah. But anyway, I'm gonna tell y'all about my weekend or whatever. I went over to the Philly youth team, PYPM. Yes. Interesting that I ended with Jamal because that's like what I was segueing into anyway. Dope. So I'm smarter than I think I am. Awesome. So anyway, I spent the weekend with them in their workshops and their slams, and it was just all beautiful. The article's gonna come out this week, so look out for that. And a lot of I think the main thing I saw as I hung out with them and experienced their work and everything. The main thing I saw was a lot of support, and not even just from the team and the people who attend there. It's like just people in the city, people who live in that area. They're like, okay, let me slide through, let me go see, let me check them out. People from different schools that come to support their friends and everything. And I feel like that's supporting these black spaces. I think that is the most important thing for us, is the support, because without people watching and listening to our stories, then I don't think we even really have a purpose of writing them. I wouldn't say we wouldn't have a purpose. It's just like
always a purpose. It's just gonna get to the people,
Yeah, like sometimes you have that important message that you want to share with so many people, and nobody's there to listen to them. So I'm really happy I got to be there and then see that. We see it in Baltimore too. Like it's not. I'm not saying like it's not in Baltimore. It is in Baltimore, but when it comes to independently being something that's youth and not having no OGs like backing us, that's when it's like, oh, I'm not going to see it. I might not be there. I might come through.
Maybe.
It's always the maybes.
You gonna come?
We probably gonna come to this show. I don't know. Are y'all gonna have food? Well, we couldn't afford it at the time. No, I don't know.
That's like a typical they're going to buy.
I mean, we can't have food if nobody paying us yet.
Yeah,
we trying. We really trying. But yeah. So I think like what I want to talk about today is how can youth reach out to people and be able to get that support that they need and figure out how they can network on a better scale. I feel like the guidelines for youth to really get support from the city and people who aren't their mentors and people who don't already know them is like they have to win. They have to win something. Yeah. And I feel like that's sad. That, like nobody will support somebody who's just independent and doing the work. Like, you have to be a winner, too. That's just something that I've realized. I'm not saying that's every community, but, like, how can we get to that without being a winner?
Without being a winner?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know how you could get there without being a winner sometimes. Because it's just like, people don't even care about talent anyway.
Oh, that's what man. People would like be down for. I don't want to keep. It sucks because I don't want to keep saying like somebody's mediocre or something. Because your art is your art, but it's like you can peep the difference. You can definitely peep the difference from somebody who's really putting the work in, and then people who are just doing it, who are just really good performers.
Yeah.
That's why I feel like, okay, the way I see it is like there's good singers, right? There's really good singers, But are you just singing? You not dancing either? You not, you don't play an instrument? Like, you don't got nothing else?
It's a lot of one-dimensionality out here.
Yeah, because there are people who have all those things. Like, they can perform. They got the writing skill. They got the credentials. And they still, like, out here, wavering in the wind. They're like, well, that was poetic. Oh, snap.
Wavering in the wind.
Wavering in the wind, yo.
That's how I be over at times.
They like a corner restaurant out here. They windy. Wavering in the wind.
A corner restaurant.
Oh my gosh, yes. But I really don't. What I hate to see is people who are discouraged by it, though. I don't feel like you should be discouraged when you don't get enough support, because your story gets to people who needs to hear that story. Yeah. And that's something that's undoubtable.
That's
if
true.
You like if you have a story,
somebody's gonna see it. Might not be a lot. Somebody's gonna see it.
And I think the cool thing about our show is that we're trying to give people that platform to tell their stories, just like any other poetry platform. Yeah. Except we're just independently youth. And we struggle with that a little bit too. It's like, we're trying to do good things, and like
people be out here sleeping.
People be sleeping. They be like,
do that?
Like our show is. So, but I think I post about the show like every week, and people be like, "What?"
I could tell my family, and they wouldn't even care. Yo.
Oh man, that's crazy.
I was like, "Yeah, I got a shirt." They was like, "That's cool." I was
like,
"Oh, okay."
We happy for you, son. Now go make me a sandwich. You making shirts? Go make a sandwich.
What?
Yo, you writing poems? Go write me a check. Oh my god.
Go write me a check.
The disrespect. But I don't know, man. It's hard being as easy as it is for us to get the word out about who we are. It is hard for people to stay it's hard to get people to be consistent. Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like hard to get people consistent about about our work, and like updated about what we're doing. Like, we can win champions from here to there, and we can championships from here to there, and do something spectacular. But like, how do you keep people consistent about your work? I guess it's just you have to do that everyday grind. Or has to be something every day. You have to be hungry about it. I mean, it definitely is something that goes both ways, because we were talking about, for the last couple of weeks, what are the responsibilities of an artist? Yeah. But also, what's the responsibilities of the people who want to support and say they support? Like, you can't just, like, some things have to go past liking okay. All right, Bryson. Is the name Bryson? Bryson Tiller? Yeah. All right. I wanted to say Byron. Byron. They probably be like,
no
Bryson.
More movie quotes, please.
No more movie quotes. I mean, we didn't even do any movie. That was a song quote today. All right. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Anyway, so yes, the responsibilities of the supporters. Like also. It kind of goes back along with the whole safety pin situation. Them talking about.
That was retarded, yo.
No. That's ambulance. Don't say that, okay?
Yeah, words. Yeah, I forget how powerful words are.
Yeah. How you gonna forget how powerful words are? You on a poetry show, yo? Like, we about to fight you.
I do a lot of action more than talking, so like, I forget sometimes.
True.
You know that.
Like, right. I feel you. But yeah, back to the safety pin. Like, why people, we can't put a safety pin on us for black people? I mean, what's that gonna do? Some things just have to go beyond symbols. You have to put the work in, even with this doesn't even just stop at supporting your local artist or supporting just a friend. It goes also supporting your community, because even with the election that's going on, you have people that's doing the work that you were asking for. Yeah. And even if you're not supporting them, at least you need to put in the work in as well. Just like in the poem from last week, the one that I did, what's the point on being woke about everything if you're not getting out of the bed? You have to you have to do the work. You have to. What you like?
I just can't stop,
Yo.
It's just too good.
It's just you. Oh, stop it! You making me.
Too good.
You making me buzz. Stop it! I know. I'm good. I'm good. I try. Put the little word play on there. Put
That's
the
what
little.
you do, though.
Put the little.
You's a poet.
I'm a poet. Yeah. Gotta wait for the. Yes, yo. Yeah, but the importance of platforms, it's really something I really got how big it really is to have the platforms for kids. Because so especially when I went to Philly, oh my gosh, it was really amazing just seeing that. Like, even because there are places that do the same work, but they need that central space.
Yeah.
That central space that builds up. That builds up a history and builds up a comfortability with the people and a connection. It's just amazing. So I think it just sucks that it's hard to keep a lot of black-owned businesses in Baltimore because there's so many people who are trying to take those away. Like even with
keep shutting everything down.
Yeah,
these days,
yeah, you got like white-owned
retarded.
spaces. You got one more time, Carlos.
Don't hit me.
One
it's
more
bad.
time.
It's bad. All right.
One.
This is why I don't talk, because then like things start slipping. Yeah.
This was such a strange arrangement of beats that I did today.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was awkward.
No, it wasn't awkward.
It was just like a really weird break.
It was not a. There was no weird break. What are you talking about?
I guess it's
I'm
my
a
brain.
good
It's my
DJ.
brain.
I'm a great DJ. Let's just say that. Anyway, what was I talking about? You really done messed me up. Anyway,
It's
central
black-owned
spaces,
business, right?
black-owned businesses and central spaces.
Yeah.
Like it's I don't think people should be discouraged about that because, like, at the end of the day, you can use your house.
For
And
real,
like,
you don't really need that much, but it'd be rough.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
'Cause
Get
some
in
people-
your house.
Sometimes as an artist, you have a vision so big that you forget about the baby steps. And I mean, I know I've done it, and I know, like I'm like, man, I want a building. How I'm going to get a building?
I don't know.
But I have to take the baby steps because even if I did get a building, what I'm going to fill it with? What's the move, right?
Yeah. Gotta make consistent baby steps. Though.
Consistent, yes,
Always.
consistent baby steps
That's
until you
one
grow
thing I
up.
like about fighting.
You see what I did there? Consistent
grow
baby steps until you grow up. Ha ha. Anyway, grow up as a community. I'm really not that clever, but I am a cleaver. I be beating bars.
Okay.
I be beating the bars. Oh, whoo,
Okay.
whoo. I'm really good at this. I need to have like I need to start getting like the little sound things, the sound ad libs. Gonna have snaps. And then have another one, and then have. Oh.
Yeah,
Speaking of another one, I learned that DJ Khaled, his name is Khaled Abiz Khaled.
Khaled, that's like his whole name.
Yeah, so basically his mom looked at his name and was just like another one. That's where it all started.
That's crazy.
I'm funny. I thought it was gonna get a bigger reaction than that. I'm really funny. All right, but we're going to go back on break. We have today's guest is Crystal Valentine. She is insanely dope. I admire her. I'm so happy she's on the show. I can't wait to talk to her about how she developed her style and how she is like this leader in the poetry movement up in NYC. And I see her as a leader, and her hairstyles be popping. Oh my god.
True.
Yo, y'all don't even understand. Y'all don't even understand. Like, she had me thinking, should I go into a slam with like all white hair and just go Super Saiyan? Can I do that? Can I achieve that? I'm too short though.
The anime characters with white hair are the most dangerous.
Right. I keep saying it. Right. But yeah, I'm like, she really. I don't think I could pull off the white hair, but I'm gonna do it anyway because I think I got. It's just some poets be having that unique like flavor, and I'm like, yes. Like, how can I think my thing is the afro. I mean, everybody has an afro, but my afro been consistent. I think it's been consistent enough where I can say it's my thing.
I suppose. Like,
Nah, I mean everybody
Is it
got
a
an
thing?
afro though. I
but
think
your hair flows a certain way. Nobody's hair can flow that way.
my outfits are always dramatic as fuck though.
I suppose.
Yeah.
They be dope though.
Oh, thank you. I tried. But yeah, wait. I wonder if that adds a level of intimidation when you have your own kind of swagger.
Yeah, it is. I saw that in when I was boxing one time. Cause this dude, like I was just shadow boxing, and then like I
What does that
sparred
mean?
with him. You just punching at the head.
Oh, okay.
Just getting used to throw punches. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then I sparred with the dude. Then after he's like, "Yo, I was really scared to fight you when I was watching you shadow box. Like you just give off like that's why I wrote that poem, Wrath. It's all pure intimidation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You gonna spit it?
Nah, not yet.
Why aren't you gonna spit it? Why? Look, you on your phone already. Okay. All right. Well, we about to go on break because he being a real punk man.
Yeah.
All right, but I won't.
I'm a scrub.
You a scrub. You a scrub for real. But all right. This is Soapbox Poetry Radio. Speak outside the box. We'll be right back, and at the end of these poems, we're gonna be with Crystal Valentine. See you soon.
Scripture suggests that the return of Jesus is near. Like, what if Jesus was already here? Like, what if Jesus decided to reappear as a prostitute and spend her evenings on a stroll? Like, what if she walked past you carrying a clutch purse instead of a cross, or had a camel toe instead of a donkey? Would you notice her? Would you speak? Would you get down and wash her feet? Or would you deny her of her divinity? Would you consider Jesus more trick or trinity? Like, if she exposed all of her holes, would you call her holy or whole? Like what if Jesus had 12 children and no disciples? Like, what if she was from next door rather than Nazareth? Like, what if she used Viagra to raise Lazarus? Like, what if she turned her rent money into malt liquor rather than her water into wine? What if the first time her temple was turned into a marketplace was at the age of 9? What if Matthew, Mark, Luke, and Little John wrote a hip-hop song about her rather than a Bible verse? Would you bother to ask her her name? But see, this isn't criticism about Christians. This is 100% about Kenneth. For the times I was too embarrassed to kiss my mother in public. For the days I would pray she wouldn't come to PTAs or school plays because I was too afraid of what folks might say. For the times I was too scared to care because I was ashamed of her career, ashamed of her tears, ashamed of her fears, ashamed of her crack pipes and beers. This is for the days that my hands were just too holy to hold her near. But how do you worship your mother when her name ain't Mary? And she ain't married, ain't dating, ain't even collected names from all the men that she's been mating with. How do you stand on stomach? You know, every trick your mother flipped to ensure food match your mouth. When you know that her knees and bowels were not used for praying. See, my mother, she ain't never hang on a cross, but she's been nailed in public a few times. No, she ain't never been crucified, but I know a few crews that tried, and my gym teacher was one. So was the deacon, and a few married men creeping, I guess from being fucked by Judas is on your daily to-do list. You become really familiar with the crowing of cocks, but what if Jesus came back as my mother? Like, what if Jesus grew a few extra scars just to prove that all our faith had flaws? Like, what if Jesus' greatest miracle was giving her son everything he needed to live, even when she had absolutely nothing to give? And if you can worship a God that sacrificed his only son to save some sinners, then surely you can worship a sinner that sacrificed her soul to save her son.
So, my experience of starting my period in 7th grade, boys, you know, finding out that I had started my period, and then, you know, it was some shit. Like, you know, I'd be in the class with the frantic, like, gotta go to the bathroom now. You're the reason. Undermined my legacy. This is my response to aforementioned dummy. You're welcome. Dude on Twitter says, quote, I was having sex with my girlfriend when she started her period. I dumped that bitch immediately, end quote. Dear nameless dummy on Twitter, you're the reason. My daughter cried funeral tears when she started her period. The sudden grief all young girls feel after the matriculation from childhood and the induction into a reality that they gonna have to negotiate you and your disdain for what a woman's body can do. Herein begins an anatomy lesson infused with feminist politics because I hate you. There is a thing called a uterus. It sheds itself every 28 days or so, or in my case, every 23 days. I've always been a rule breaker. That's the anatomy part. I digress. The feminist politic part is that women know how to let things go, how to let a dying thing leave the body, how to become new, how to regenerate, how to wax and wane, not unlike the moon and tides, both of which influence how you behave. I digress. Women have vaginas that can speak to each other. By this I mean, when we're with our friends, our sisters, our mothers, our menstrual cycles will actually sync the fuck up. My own cervix is mad influential. Everybody I love knows how to bleed with me. Hold on to that. There's a metaphor in it. Hold on to that. But when your mother carried you, the ocean in her belly is what made you buoyant, made you possible. You had it under your tongue when you burst through her skin, wet and panting from the heat of her body, the body whose machinery you now mock on social media. That body wrapped you in everything that was miraculous about it and sung you lullabies laced in platelets, without which you wouldn't have no Twitter account at all, motherfucker. I digress. See, it's possible that we know the world better because of the blood that visits some of us. It interrupts our favorite white skirts and shows up at dinner parties unannounced. Blood will do that, period. It will come when you are not prepared for it. Blood does that, period. Blood is the biggest siren, and we understand that blood misbehaves. It does not wait for a hand signal or a welcome sign above the door. And when you deal in blood over and over again like we do, when it keeps returning to you, well, that makes you a warrior. And while all good generals know not to discuss battle plans with the enemy, let me say this to you, dummy on Twitter. If there's any balance in the universe at all, you're gonna be blessed with daughters. Blessed. Etymologically, blessed means to make bleed. See, now it's a lesson in linguistics. In other words, blood speaks. That's the message. Stay with me. See, your daughter's gonna teach you what all men must one day come to know, that women, made of moonlight, magic, and macabre, will make you know the blood. We gonna get it all over the sheets and car seats. We gonna do that. We gonna introduce you to our insides, period. And if you are as unprepared as we sometimes are, it'll get all over you and leave a forever stain. So to my daughter, should any fool mishandle the wild geography of your body, how it rides a red running current, like any good wolf or witch, well then just bleed, boo. Give that blood a biblical name. Something of stone and mortar. Name it after Eve's first rebellion in that garden. Name it after the last little girl to have her genitals mutilated in Kinshasa. That was this morning. Give it as many syllables as there are unreported rape cases. Name the blood something holy, something mighty, something unlanguageable, something in hieroglyphs, something that sounds like the end of the world. Name it for the roar between your legs and for the women who will not be nameless here. Just bleed anyhow. Spill your impossible scripture. All over the good furniture, bleed and bleed and bleed on everything he loves. Period.
On the quiet days, the view out my window pops a hip. A raindrop makes its way from wherever it landed to wherever it's going. Passing occasions, genius timing, put your face into the palm of my hand, changed my whole entire makeup. You rewind to toddler. I stand next to God. And we are in Jeff's backyard. I have no idea how to use this camera. Zoomed in, all the way in. So when the viewfinder finally finds you, you are naming things. You say, birds are Shaniquas. Because Shaniqua is your best friend, and this is your best pronunciation of a black girl name so that all your classmates would have to, and we are so pleased. Seems divining nomenclature, shit talking. It all runs in the family. And in this moment, I know, like the universe is a notebook full of cheat sheets, I know you are all that I have. And you're gonna leave me. Passing occasions, genius timing, put your face into the palm of my hand, give me strength to push the walls back to here. I hate you, Mom. And no, that's temporary. To see you frustrated, and no, this is not the last time. To see you stubborn, faithful, brave, to watch you name all these things for yourself, oh daughter. When they handed you to me, everyone thought I expected someone else. I named you mother, sister, legacy. That was yesterday. That clock, I named that murder. It is entirely too good at its job.
Anonymous box questions a 6th grade boys group asked their sex education teacher. Ms. Ebony, if you don't have a condom, can you use a plastic bag? What is it? No, plastic bags won't protect you from STDs or prevent pregnancy. Ms. Ebony, can a girl get pregnant if I put my Peter in her ear? No, that was an episode from Family Guy. This is real life. In this class, we will only use medically correct terms. What's another word for balls? Testicles. Miss Ebony, why do girls scream when they have sex, and what if the bed breaks? Men and women make noises as a pleasurable response, and in most cases, this is normal and okay, and if the bed is not sturdy, it could break, but hopefully no one gets hurt. I am trained. To answer these questions. But sometimes I want to say if there's a girl who will allow you to put a plastic bag inside her, this is not the girl for you. Ejaculating into someone, anyone's ear, is gross and confusing. Because why would you want to do that? You could say nuts, teabags, sack beans, boys, friends, but who the hell is Peter? And not all women scream because not all of us need to. Oh. The question you should be more concerned with is how will I know if she's faking it or not? But none of the above have to do with the bed breaking. But then there are questions. Put into the box with Tim's name attached, as true as a sun, admits it's a star with print as small as the signature of a gnat, evenly folded to show me how careful I have to be in answering his questions. Why? Does liking the color pink make me gay? And if I am, is it bad? And I immediately wanted to show him how to become camouflage, how to give up his shadow and become a closet and say they have picket signs and slanderous tongues shaped like swords of malice, that we all have a certain prejudiced bully inside us. You, boy, must not believe in being outcasted in blue. Blue is more fitting for the sinking emotions you might feel, or to show the lifespan of your bruises that haven't quite healed yet, or to show the color of your iris before a piece of you turned gray. Tim, with all 206 bones, 17 of them reaching for me in his eyes, looks at me the way he does hope, and the ability to love outside of himself is waiting for an answer. So I say, you could be a pink Spider-Man if you want to. A bow tie, a cupcake with pink insides, as long as your heartbeat, preference, and colors have to do with emotion. So you should do what feels good. You gotta be willing to be brave enough to be the only one who knows you're afraid. Bad is hiding inside yourself. Bad is someone judging you by what they don't understand, and which direction your heart goes when love is supposed to be a good thing that you shouldn't have to control or use a cookie cutter to recreate. That love can be a person, place, or thing, and any emotion you can wrap around that special person that makes your heart explode when they walk into a room. There is no cross and skull bones over your heart. You are a good thing that someone be dying to get next to. And there is no shame in that. Anonymous box questions. A 6th grade boys group asked their sex education teacher, Ms. Ebony, if you don't have a condom, can you use a plastic bag? What is it? No, plastic bags won't protect you from STDs or prevent pregnancy. Ms. Ebony, can a girl get pregnant if I put my Peter in her ear? No, that was an episode from Family Guy. This is real life. In this class, we will only use medically correct terms. What's another word for balls? Testicles. Miss Ebony, why do girls scream when they have sex, and what if the bed breaks? Men and women make noises as a pleasurable response, and in most cases, this is normal and okay. And if the bed is not sturdy, it could break, but hopefully no one gets hurt. I am trained. To answer these questions. But sometimes I want to say, if there is a girl who will allow you to put a plastic bag inside her, this is not the girl for you. Ejaculating into someone, anyone's ear, is gross and confusing. Because why would you want to do that? You could say nuts, teabag, sack, beans, boys, friends, but who the hell is Peter? And not all women scream, because not all of us need to. Oh. The question you should be more concerned with is, how will I know if she's faking it or not? But none of the above have to do with the bed breaking. But then there are questions. Put into the box with Tim's name attached, as true as a sun, admits it's a star with print as small as the signature of a gnat, evenly folded to show me how careful I have to be in answering his questions. Why? Does liking the color pink make me gay? And if I am, is it bad? And I immediately wanted to show him how to become camouflage, how to give up his shadow and become a closet and say they have picket signs and slanderous tongues shaped like swords of malice, that we all have a certain prejudiced bully inside us. You, boy, must not believe in being outcasted in blue. Blue is more fitting for the sinking emotions you might feel, or to show the lifespan of your bruises that haven't quite healed yet, or to show the color of your iris before a piece of you turned gray. Tim, with all 206 bones, 17 of them reaching for me in his eyes, looks at me the way he does hope, and the ability to love outside of himself is waiting for an answer. So I say, you could be a pink Spider-Man if you want to. A bow tie, a cupcake with pink insides, as long as your heartbeat, preference, and colors have to do with emotion. So you should do what feels good. You gotta be willing to be brave enough to be the only one who knows you're afraid. Bad is hiding inside yourself. Bad is someone judging you by what they don't understand, and which direction your heart goes when love It's supposed to be a good thing that you shouldn't have to control or use a cookie cutter to recreate. That love can be a person, place, or thing, and any emotion you can wrap around that special person that makes your heart explode when they walk into a room. There is no crossing skull bones over your heart. You are a good thing that someone be dying to get next to, and there is no shame in that.
Hello? Okay. Am I being
Hey,
like
is it-
the mics was just like no. Okay, now
Is it- hello?
everybody's on. Hey.
Yeah.
You seem so shocked. We're back. We're just waiting for the lovely and amazing Crystal Valentine to call in. While we wait, I wanted to introduce a really good friend. Rebekkah is in the house.
Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, my bad.
Nah, you're fine.
I done gave out the government. All right, so we got Cherry Hill, we got Carlos, we got Metamorphosis, and we were having some deep conversation, yo, about clicks and stuff in the poetry scene. But we're going to save that. We're going to save that for next week. Right now, we just chilling. So let me give you a little bit about Crystal Valentine. Crystal Valentine was a youth poet laureate of New York. She was also the coach of the New York Brave New Voices team, Urban Word. She also competed in MPS this year with Anthony McPherson, Stephen Willis, and God, who else? All right, I'm not gonna pretend I know more, but we're gonna just keep it rolling. Yeah, so we definitely gonna ask her about those things and how her experience was going through. Also ask her about her hairstyles and how can I get like her. Like, yes, that's what I'm here for. That's what I need in my life.
Hair is a thing.
Hair is. I feel like if your hair is on point, you are more intimidating when it comes to the slam world.
Okay.
Have you been to a poetry slam before?
Never been to a poetry slam.
What?
Yeah. I'm missing out. There's a lot of the world I haven't experienced
Oh
yet.
my gosh, I have to bring you to one day.
Please do.
Slams are like. Let me tell you something about slam poetry, man. Slams are like the boxing ring for writers, and it's. I mean, I say that every time. I don't know why I always gotta think about it before I say it, because I say it every time.
Okay.
But it's definitely our Super Bowl. Like MPS is our Super Bowl. Brave New Voices are like our little baby Super Bowl.
Okay.
Maybe like a super spoon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're definitely big things. Yeah, so we are. Me and 4 other kids in Baltimore City, we won Brave New Voices this year.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, we went to that slam. That slam was awesome. I could definitely show you some videos too.
Yeah,
and y'all can look them up too on YouTube if you about that life. If you about that poem slam life. I'm not
I'll
going
be digging in myself.
I'm not going to throw no shade to anybody about not checking out my independent little poetry videos. I ain't gonna throw nobody under the bus about that. Yeah, that's definitely not my style. But yeah, y'all should watch my videos. I'm just saying. A cough cough, a chew chew, clears of the throat. I'm trying to find my Outcast beat because I can't introduce no artist. Oh, there it is. She gets the Outcast beat because she's special.
Dope.
We gonna let the beat rock just for a little bit. Waiting for Crystal. Maybe another poem. Maybe not. But back to our conversation. People in Baltimore need to. I feel like a lot of people in Baltimore are separated a lot of our scenes because just mainly in the adult scene, really. Because you have, I feel like people feel like they have a better, a more unique writing style than the other, and then some people feel like they have more credentials than the other, or they don't think. I just really think people just have to focus on that. Like, you have different goals,
Right.
and
As
it's not
artists,
about
right.
because it's really not about who you are. You just have different goals that people aren't focusing on right now.
I think it's the difference between like an abstract artist and an impressionist artist. You know, not everybody's gonna understand an abstract point of view, but not everybody's gonna understand an impressionist point of view. So,
Right.
and I think that when it goes to writing, poetry is about, like we said before, like ripping everything out of your heart and expressing it with pen and paper. Two very simple things. You're not using, a control board. You're not using piano or a paintbrush or whatever. It's just you and that pen and that paper. And I think that here in Baltimore, there's so many different scenes.
Yeah,
and people don't seem to be open for collaboration, for understanding. People listen to speak. They don't listen to understand.
Yeah.
And so I think that's
they listen to speak. That was the last show, Speaking. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Never mind. Okay. No, okay. It was just nice.
No, but that's it, right? I mean, everything carries on into the next. So everybody's so comfortable in their own little corners. And I think as artists, it's important for us to push ourselves into different realms. And even within our own realm, different genres of that realm, right?
So what is it like y'all take on socially engaged art though? Like where does that go?
Socially engaged art.
Yeah.
Well, for me, my art is about what I'm doing.
What does that really mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Socially
like, when I was having
engaged
the
art.
conversation with them, like they would just sound like just having like a community base. Then it was like some housing somewhere where they was just doing it as a product for the community. Then it gradually turned into an art piece. Because then they just recorded it as like art. Like
so when I think of
like a social impact or something like.
When I think of socially engaged art, I think of like some of these events brewing in Baltimore that are like, oh, this is going to be like a music show or a poetry show, and we're going to have some live artists, and we're going to have, some vendors or whatever. Like that to me is socially engaged art. Or like there's the Baltimore Mural Society that my husband and my child and I do a little bit of volunteering for. That to me is socially engaged art.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah, so like these kind of things, community outreach art projects, I guess, is my take on socially engaged art. But I don't think that it stops there. You know?
Oh, she's calling. Hold up, I gotta press the beat. Oh no. Okay, forget it. Hello, welcome to SoapBOX Poetry Radio. Speak outside the box.
Hi.
Hey.
I already knew that, and I was just excited. I had to say that. Okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm actually kind of cold. It's really cold outside. How are you?
Oh my God. It feel like I don't even know. I can't even come up with a simile right now. It's so cold.
This weather is rude.
I was real dramatic with this weather though. I had my Olivia Pope shawl on. I was ready. I popped up in the meeting like I have arrived. Oh my gosh. So Crystal, I want to ask you, so are you really about that life with the Donald Trump poem? Like, cause we need you now. You're a superhero now.
No, I feel like I can't say that on air because like if you want to have a meeting about it, just like we gotta meet up in person. They might be tapping phones.
Right.
I heard that.
No, it's true. I randomly started getting emails from Donald Trump.
Like, you did not for real?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
I mean, I won't say whether or not I'm about it, but I will say if you want to meet up to talk about it, I'm willing to do that.
All right, I'm sending winks your way. Wink, wink. We gonna have this. We gonna have this meeting. It has to be done. Oh my gosh! So Crystal, I think you're incredibly dope. Like you're just the dopest of the dopest. And like in my eyes, and I'm just like yes, in my heart, in my soul, all my organs. Anyway. I wanted to ask you, how did you start doing poetry?
Well, I started writing in grade school. I feel like I don't know, maybe a little weird kid. I would write like all these like really sad poems, and then it wasn't until like high school that I got really involved with it because I went to Urban Word, which is a nonprofit organization. You know, it's kind of like Do More, you know, poetry, but you know, for New Yorkers, for New York kids. And that's when I really started. So I didn't really start slamming till like 12th grade because like I was just real scared to really even go on a mic. You couldn't get me on the mic for nothing.
That's crazy because now people scared of you. You come to a slam, it's like, oh, it's done.
It's funny because I mean even now I'm always scared to get on the mic. I will say I'm always real nervous, you know. So I feel like that part never kind of went away. But I feel like now I kind of just accepted the urgency in my work. I think that you know, I have to, you know, do these poems, you know, not only for myself, I guess, but like for my community, for my queer Black folk, right? So,
right.
Yeah.
Hey. To the queer Black. I think like really, so seriously, just being a weird Black kid myself, it's like I don't think that's really ever changing. That's never going to be the thing. We're just all kids with expansion packs.
That's real. It's funny. I thought I would grow out of it, but it's just like the weirdness is kind of settling even more deeper into my bones. That's like I can't get rid of it. But I don't know. I feel like because of like my weirdness, I can write poems like assassinating Donald Trump and all that other stuff, right? So
allegedly, we just want to put that out there for the one. Allegedly trying to. I don't even think that's still good. Like you allegedly trying to get what? No, okay, chill. we going to chill. I'm gonna chill. What are some ways that you battle the nervousness?
I think it's really the fact that I really do enjoy, you know, doing poems. You know, I feel like I'm nervous because I'm afraid I'm gonna like stumble over my words or like I don't know, the crowd might not feel me, but I do like genuinely enjoy, you know, doing poems for people. So I always remind myself how fun it is. But you know, going back to what I was saying before, I was talking to a mentor of mine, and she kind of just said, like, you know, at this point, it's like it's really a disservice to yourself to not do poems at this point, or not necessarily not do poems, but like this is my way of engaging with social justice issues, right? This is my way of standing up for myself. So it's kind of a disservice. It's like I'm being silenced, or I'm, you know, doing nothing while the world is moving on, and you know, silence, you know, will not protect me. You know, the great Audre Lorde said that. So it became the fact that, like, first it's really fun, but also, like, this is really, I think, my calling. And I don't want to be one of those people who just have all this talent, you know, all this amazing talent, or, you know, and just be wasting it because they're afraid. I feel like that a lot.
Yeah, I really love your poetic style. Like, it's like you daring somebody to say something after your poem. It's like you daring. It's just so cool and unique. How did you end up developing that type of style? Because it's very unique. Like, I haven't, like, if I ever see anybody who like does the, you know, the sarcastic remarks, or, you know, the what's the word when a question isn't supposed to be answered.
Oh, rhetorical.
Rhetorical. We gonna pretend I knew what that was.
I didn't know what it was. I was just you gave it to me in my head, and I said it.
But yeah, so how did you what was the steps to becoming this Crystal Valentine now?
I feel like that's a real hard question because I mean, I feel like I'm still becoming, I guess, Crystal Valentine now. I wouldn't really consider myself a very confrontational person, but you know what it is? You know when like you get into an argument with somebody and like, you know, the argument's over and you think about all the stuff you could have said to them, you know?
Yeah.
Like really,
should have said this.
Think about it like 5 minutes later.
Right. I do that. Like, I do that all the time.
Every day.
I be planning arguments with myself. Like, I know exactly what I'm going to say when this happens.
but I think like all that. I think my poems are kind of like commentary, or like it's like what happens after the argument. Like for example, what happens after a white person disrespects you, and like you gotta sit there with that. Are you? And it's like, am I gonna sit with it, or am I gonna just let it go?
True.
Because that's not really. Quite frankly, that's not even my anger. Like, it's their anger and it's their hate, and I don't really have to carry that. So I kind of use these poems to do that, and it feels good, I feel like just like as a queer Black woman, I don't always get to have the last word,
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, in the face of racism, I don't get to have the last word with racism. I don't get to have the last word with sexism. But in my poems, I get to have the last word.
Told you, daring, nigga. Let me not have this last word. Watch what happens.
It definitely makes me kind of take control of a bad situation, so I don't have to sit and simmer with it. I just feel like if it wasn't for like my approach, because I don't really know what the style is. It's just like me commenting, right? So I don't really know like what you would I don't know call my style, but it's just so I get to not have to sit with this anger, and I could just let it go in a confrontational way that like kind of lets me feel like I want to fight, even though sometimes I really don't.
Yeah, I've definitely learned, like, after I've spit a poem, I don't feel like I have those thoughts anymore. Like, it's just like, I'm just so agitated. Like, I don't feel irritated no more. Do you ever feel like, I feel like every poet has that moment where they just want to spit that poem about like not touching my hair to somebody who just touched their hair? Like, what if that would be hilarious if arguments really could be like that? If you could just spit a poem and you just like, this is over. This is all over. Are you still doing Cup C?
Well, no, I can't really compete anymore. I graduated from NYU this May, so I cannot compete. I mean, unless I don't know, go back to NYU. But I mean, I feel like even then I probably wouldn't.
Like, you need that break. It's just like, all right, I'm did it.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'd be like that old person trying to be young. I don't know.
That's definitely going to be me though, because I'm going back like next semester, and I'm going to be like 20. I'm like, oh man, I'm old. All these youngins.
I think that's okay in a way.
Like in the sense that I think that it's time for me to step aside so other people can rise and shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Can I curse on?
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
I just don't, because it sounds weird coming out of my little voice. It's just like, why? Who is Elmo? Why is Elmo cursing on a radio station?
No, but so I definitely I don't really see myself doing Cup C just because like I did it, and there's like a bunch of other brilliant people ready to kick my ass out there, and they probably will. So let me just step aside. But I definitely do want to. I want to help the up and coming team.
Yeah,
definitely. Or I mean, like for example, I believe that Mahogany is definitely coaching them. But like just like if they want any advice, or if they like just want to vent or whatever, I just be there for them. Because I feel like in the previous years, the NYU members who were on the team before me were definitely kind of there for us if we had any questions. So I want to keep the tradition.
Right. So you have been doing. Oh, I'm sorry. Were you talking? Was that me? Probably me. But anyway. So you have been doing a lot more mentoring now, with Urban Word and mentoring and coaching. So Urban Word, I miss them so much. Oh my gosh, I miss them. Like I really did enjoy that Brave New Voices experience. I'm so used to saying B&B, but anyway, yeah, that experience. And meeting all those kids. What was it like? Was that your first time coaching?
It was my first time coaching.
Oh, okay, cool. What was it like?
It was definitely a challenge. Because I knew, because I was on the team before in 2014. I was on the team. And I definitely wanted to make sure that my kids enjoyed. I call them my babies. But I wanted to make sure my babies enjoyed themselves to the fullest, and that they definitely challenged themselves. I think that one of my biggest goals as a coach was to give them all the love that I could give and that they could take, really. But it was definitely challenging because, you know, like, I don't know, like, if you're in the bout and, you know, one of your kids, like, does this poem and they break free, like, you got to be there to help them put themselves back together, you know? Or if you're in practice and they, you know, tell you something really personal, you got to make sure that you're there for them and that, you know, even after the process, even after being that you're still there for them. Because, you know, I think that being, like, once you coach someone, they kind of stay with you, you know?
Right.
Yeah. It's not like I don't know, like a one poet stand kind of thing. They kind of, they just kind of with you for a long time. So, it's definitely interesting not, like, competing. Because I'm, like, you know, you have to make sure that, you have a good strategy and that you really know your kids' work to make them shine to the fullest. And when I was on the teams in the previous years, I didn't really have to worry about strategy. You know, Mahogany's been my coach for the past, I think, 4 or 5 years. 4 years, 5 years, 4 years, I don't know. And she kind of only worried about that. So she'd be like, you know, just do your poem, just write your poem, make sure you have the poem memorized and that you. And with me, I had no poems. Like, I had to make sure that, you know, I knew the strategy and that I was utilizing my coaching abilities to the fullest. So it was definitely nerve-wracking.
What are some, I feel like I'm talking and then it goes back into my headphones and then I don't know.
I'm not going to lie, it has been kind of breaking up just a tiny bit.
Okay.
But I'm shocked.
I really wish cause you emailed me like, can you bring me down there? I'm like, I would. I would. But okay, so what are some things that you some important lessons that you make sure you teach your babies?
I think one of the, I mean, I say this all the time, but love. When it comes to coaching, especially being on a team, I personally think before you even get to the poems, before you even start talking about strategy, before you even really start writing, you have to develop some kind of trust, some kind of bond with your teammates, kind of with yourself, and with your mentors and your coaches. Because honestly, like, if you don't have that bond, then you're not writing to your fullest, and you're not really opening yourself up. You're not being vulnerable and allowing yourselves to really jump so we can catch you if we need to, you know?
Right.
So I think that one of the most important things I could have hopefully taught them was that, because, like, you know, the competition ends. And, like, you know, we go on, but we have to love each other wholeheartedly. We have to love each other fiercely because, you know, outside of this poetry stuff, we are still living in a world where we are marginalized, where we are literally being killed, especially from my group of people, because a lot of people were, you know, queer or you know, gender nonconforming. So, you know, that added another layer that I you know, so I wanted to make sure that they were definitely safe, and how you have to first develop a sense of love to feel safe, I would say.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Is that the same thing that you've gotten from your mentor as well, and also your inspirations, or is that something that you had to learn along the way?
It's kind of both ways. My in 2014, my team. I mean, I feel like we eventually grew to love each other, but it was definitely a kind of a rocky start with us because we definitely didn't try to initiate that trust and that bond, you know, from the get-go. It was something that kind of had to be beaten into us, and so it definitely made things difficult. I was lucky enough to have Carvin, Lasan, and Catherine George be my coaches. And you know, they're all about love. But yeah, it was definitely a rocky start because of the lack of trust and because of the lack of love. And I think that I didn't want that for my babies. And you know, this is of course not to like blame anyone. That's just, you know, like teenagers, you know, that's just how it is.
Yeah, we were actually the topic of the day was talking about support between the community and support between each other, and I feel like a lot of people, I feel like it's hard to get a lot of support from other people, especially from your city. It seems like they only they only support the youth when, you know, they're quote unquote winners, or, you know, they are really like putting their faces out there in the other world and out in the world. But also in between other artists, like I feel like if youth artists by themselves start building a community where they do appreciate each other and love each other, then other people will start to catch on and realize that this is a real thing, and like our art is a real thing, and that we really telling stories. I feel like you get like a lot of everybody loves you, like everywhere you go, everybody loves you. It's like, oh my God, Crystal, my friend.
I really do appreciate it, just because I've never had, this is new for me, you know, growing up. I never really had people reaching out to hug me, or, you know, reaching out to give me love. So I do you know, truly appreciate it, and I really hope that everyone thinks it's reciprocated. I don't know, I really do try to love everyone not harshly, but like fiercely.
Like, come here, give me a hug. We gotta show our love. Yes, but I will take your harsh and fierce love. I will definitely.
It's definitely important to me. It's definitely important to me, just because I feel like, this is not to say, like, you know, others who might think differently don't take their craft very seriously, but I think I take my craft very seriously, in the sense that if I'm doing a poem, you know, about, you know, being a queer Black woman and being oppressed, I have to love up on my queer Black folks. You know,
right.
I have to love up on my gender nonconforming folks, because if not, then I'm honestly just a hypocrite. And you know, like if I do a poem, like I can't do a poem like Black privilege and then, like, you know, not support my community and not try to help the Black folk in my community, because it kind of just makes me a liar.
I do see that a lot in certain artists, where they will support one thing and where they would talk about one topic, but then forget about everybody else. And I'm just like, you know you're not really about it. You only trying to. If you only trying to get with the, you know, the Black power people, like, I just want.
Is it a clique you're trying to get into, or is it a message you're trying to get across?
I ain't trying to get in that clique. They don't like me. They don't like me.
They don't like weird people.
Right. They don't want that.
I'm not sure that, or like it's like I don't know, like maybe like they don't have a certain kind of weirdness. I don't know.
Yeah.
It gets tricky sometimes.
I don't know. I just feel like artists just need a whole world to themselves, just a whole planet. I actually asked my friend once. He's an artist. I said, if you could restart the world, and you say like you were Adam, right? And you know you God appointed you to name things and, you know, create things, and it's like, what would your world look like? And he said, honestly, I don't know. He said, honestly, well, he was lazy with the answer, really. He was like, honestly, I don't know, because that's a lot of responsibility. But like, I don't know, a world full of artists, I don't know, nothing would get done, yo.
Okay, I thought the world full of artists would be like kind of a lot, though. Like,
yeah.
All the artists.
That'd be a lot to take in.
Yeah, that's a lot. I mean, we can support each other, but we don't need to be around each other that much. It's a little much.
And like, I don't know, like, I think that when it comes to like my poetry, like my mom, you know, she's not an artist, or you know, she wouldn't consider herself to be an artist, and I feel like I have to be conscious of that, you know, of the people in my community who like don't identify as artists, and I have to make sure that I can kind of still reach them, because like for me that's important. Like I don't know, no one in my family except for like my dad and my brother, are really like artists. So.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that. I'll be leaving my family. Hold up. And plus, like, who you gonna tell your art to? Will there even be a point at that point? I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like if it was only artists, I wonder. I think like even like I think the value of art would kind of be a bit different. Like I don't think it would be like a money exchange, because like if we created the world, we wouldn't have. I feel like we would make it so that we are kind of sustainable, and are like free to just create.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I don't know.
I feel like I just asked the Smokes Blunt question.
Smokes Blunt.
I definitely just asked the Smokes Blunt, yo, what if the world was full of artists? Yo, man, that's crazy. I went way off that.
Really weird.
But so Crystal, what are your inspirations, artists and non-artists?
Okay, so this might sound real corny, but today I was, coming home from like a doctor's appointment at 42nd Street Port Authority, which is like a really kind of crowded subway station. Like it's always crowded, and there's always like live music going on or something, and I just saw like a mom, like she looked like she just got off of work, and like she had her 2 kids with her, and this man, he was playing some R&B music, and she kind of just took off her hat and like unzipped her coat, and like this is in a subway station, and like she just kind of started dancing with her 2 like young sons, and like sweet. I don't know, like for me like that is like kind of what I'm fighting for, for that. Ability for
those
like
moments,
I guess I don't know, for like working moms to just find some type of joy in their blackness,
Yeah.
I don't know, it was just so beautiful to me, to watch. But when I think about inspiration, I think the Bronx inspires me a lot, where I'm from, just because of I feel like it gets a bad rep sometimes. People like to call it names, and it always hurts my feelings. But
there's a lot of. I'm sorry to interrupt. There's a lot of artistic history in the Bronx.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like hip hop, like or just even art in general.
Yeah, but it don't. I feel like at one point it don't even matter sometimes, because when it's black, when it's all black, people like to tear it down, and it's terrible. But your experience actually reminded me of I was listening to this poet the other day, and she says poetry keeps me human, and humanity keeps me poet. So yeah, like it's like we need. I don't feel like we're not pimping out what people experiences and what we experience. I feel like we're just recorders, and we're recording the times. We're being we're keeping things relevant and keeping things new and fresh, and it's also something that you can see and experience for your own. We're kind of like that. That window, so you don't have. We're like that window that you don't always have to travel and see. You can see, you can feel it. So more say. Is that a saying? More say. I don't know what's wrong.
Be whatever you want it to be.
I'm a poet. I got creative license. More say is a thing now.
Yeah, it just made me think of the book, The Giver.
More. Let me Google that.
Are you really?
I'm sorry. It is not a thing.
Well, it's a thing now. Carlos, you were saying.
Nah, it's over. It's cool.
Carlos, you were. Oh my God.
I lost the train of thought.
Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's over.
Okay. So Crystal, your book. I want to talk. Oh wait, I forgot the name. I'm sorry. What's the name of your book?
You forgot the name.
Huh?
You forgot the name.
Wait, hold up. I got this. I'm about to think about it. Hold on. Let me think about it on Google real quick.
Okay.
Think about it on Google.
Let me think about it on Google. What is it called? The name of your book. You not gonna tell me?
I was like, I don't know if she gonna Google. It's called Not Everything Is a You. Not Everything Is a You.
Okay, thank you. I knew it was something. I knew it was that. I forgot what the beginning part was. I remember eulogy. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible interviewer, by the way. No, actually, I'm pretty darn awesome person though. I'm just bad at interview. Anyway, not about a eulogy. What was your inspiration for the title and just writing a book in general?
The inspiration. Well, I guess I'll start with the title. Originally, I wanted to title the book "I Deserve a Love Song," but my edit and that's actually another project that I'm working on. But I sent it to my editors, and they was like, this actually kind of has nothing to do with the poem. I mean, with the book. And I was like, I was super hurt because I was like, I deserve a love. I don't know. I was like, really, really caught up on it was a really rough, I guess, period in my life because I think that's when when depression hit me the hardest. Yeah, depression was just really bad. And, it was my senior year of college, too. So, I wasn't going to school or I wasn't, always going to classes. And it was, kind of hard for me. So I was like, I deserve love and I deserve all this shit, right? But my editor was like, that's very beautiful. That doesn't really have anything to do with the book. But I had a poem in the manuscript called "Not Everything Is a Eulogy," which is basically about in terms of Blackness, it doesn't always have to be sad. We don't always have to talk about death. There's something to cherish, you know? So I guess they was like, we have to name it this, and I was like, okay. But yeah, writing the book was probably one of the hardest things I ever had to do. It was really just because I had to kind of just really kind of look at myself in the mirror, see everything that was there, kind of try to evaluate some of the pain that I didn't want to talk about or think about. But yeah.
Yeah, I remember sneaking a few pages in there while you were here because I couldn't buy it. But yeah, so I got a bootleg view of it. I'm happy about that. I'm going to though. I just keep running into vintage shops and it's like, oh man. I'm I'm building up my poetry book though. My poetry book though, of all my friends' poetries and all that stuff. So it's getting there. I'm getting there. As soon as I stop going into thrift shops. But still, I love you. Okay, cool. Yes, but so about gosh, I don't know what's going on with me. I need food. I need 1,000 slices of pizza today.
Why you looking at me?
Because you should have bought pizza, Carlos.
At least a whole pizza.
What do you see as a future of poetry for you?
I think it's definitely time that I start writing about my family. That's a huge. That's something. I think that's something that I'm really dealing with right now. And that's a huge. Obviously, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I have a lot of undealt with, I don't know, not only pain, but maybe even joy that I've buried inside myself that I don't want to remember or think about. So I definitely want to talk more about my family, my childhood. Just because I want to talk about how unique the Black childhood experience is. I feel like we just have kind of. As everyone's childhood, especially. When you talk about it culturally, we all have our different customs and have our different, beliefs and way of doing things. So I remember just being a kid and being confused as to why my family did certain things, and it was because it was something that they was taught by by their family and their family and their family, and it is something that is very specific, I guess, to the black culture. So
Yeah.
I want to definitely talk about that.
Yeah, that is a big thing. And it's I feel like it's only with the black community too, and
I think across the board, family is a hard thing to touch on artistically. Because you want to be real and you want to be open and honest, but you also want to honor your family. You know, you don't want to.
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't want everyone to look like an asshole. You know.
Right. It took me months to write the poem about my dad, and
crazy.
yeah, and it was hard. It was really hard. Like sometimes it's just some things you're not ready to write, or no, it's something that's not ready to be written. And I don't know, poems be having their own personalities and stuff, so I don't be messing with them.
I mean, especially because like I feel like my tone, like even the tones of my poems will definitely change when I write about my family, just because like I can't talk to my mom the way I would talk to Richard Dozar or the way I would talk to Donald Trump, or I can't be asking those rhetorical ass questions to my mama. So it's definitely. I mean, I feel like the whole tone of it will change, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, just something more vulnerable and more like.
Yeah.
So is. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just saying. You could go ahead.
Okay, so is Crystal Valentine a performance name or is it your name?
That's hilarious.
I'm sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool. A lot of people ask, and it is my actual name.
That's
I was named
dope.
after my aunt. Her name is also Crystal Valentine.
That is the dopest name.
Pretty slick.
No, because
it's funny. It's funny because I actually have a poem, and it kind of starts like, "Is Crystal Valentine your real name? Or is that a stage name?" So
it just sounds too cool to be like an act. It just sounds too cool. People ask me if my name is real, and like they ask me a lot, and I don't know if it's cool or because it's another city. But yeah, so what was I gonna say? Crap. Anyway, you're dope. I'm gonna keep saying you're dope until I remember the question.
I'm too like, what's that word? Naive or gullible? Because like I be thinking everybody's name is their real name, and like I just be like, oh, your name is Sweatshop? Damn.
But especially just being in our business, it's like not everybody's name is their name, or but I mean you can't really tell somebody what their name is or what it isn't. So it's like if your name is A Tribe Called Stress, then that is your name.
Tribe Called Stress.
That is your name.
Oh my god.
I believe it.
Do you have a favorite poet?
I don't have one favorite poet. I guess I will say that. I mean, I don't know. I feel like he's everybody's favorite poet right now, but one of my favorite poets is definitely me.
You said you said you?
No.
Oh no, because that wouldn't. No, that's definitely acceptable.
No.
Me. That's awesome.
But yeah, this.
I said her niece.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, because if it was you, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. It's like, yep. Mm-hmm.
No.
I
just love his work. I just love the way he talks about his family. Because I feel like sometimes we have to choose. So like if we, like, especially with people with a lot of identities, if we're talking about family, it's like we're only talking about family. Like we can't talk about the blackness in our family, It's like we gotta choose to talk about our mama or how our mama was black, I think that Henry does a really great job of kind of incorporating that. I don't know, he's dope. He always kind of surprises me with his work. I'm like always surprised at his word choice. So he's definitely one of my favorite poets. Another one, okay, I'm gonna just shut up. Also, another one of my favorite poets is definitely Paul Tran.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, the way that they navigate history is like out of this world. Absolutely out of this world.
And the way they dress.
I mean, of course. Like we are twins, so we do have to dress up to par. But yeah, that's. I mean, of course, that's also one of my favorite people. But their work never ceased to inspire me.
Yeah. Y'all outfits better. Y'all always on point. I feel like your hair has always been like an evolution of what type of Saiyan you're feeling that day. Like Super Saiyan, Destroy Saiyan. I don't know. That's why it was hard for me to choose a picture for your advertisement this week, only because I was like, dang, what kind of hairstyle she got? I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
It was I haven't even really seen that picture before, so I'm like, wow, this is like a cool picture that I've never really kind of seen before.
That Google Images be helping, man.
They be doing numbers.
It was on point.
I wanted to make sure I had one of you performing. Yeah. So I like how like every poet have that type of poetry swagger while they're performing, and like. One thing that since I think Baltimore poets are really nerds, like how they're like gangster nerds about poetry, and it's so funny because I mean you met Black Chakra and you saw how he right, how he does the impressions of different poets and stuff. So yeah, it's like we're nerds. We're really like we were having a conversation about like which poet was which Harry Potter character, and we were doing it of each city too. It was just like Vision was definitely Hagrid. Vision,
really?
Yeah, Vision from Philly, probably Hagrid.
I don't see him as Hagrid.
Really? I mean,
okay. Are you talking about just like the way he looks, or like?
No, not the way he looks, but like personality wise.
I don't see it.
I feel like he'd be like the one to be like, come here, let's go. We gonna just get some work done.
I feel like he gets more work done than like Hagrid though.
Oh yeah, true. That's definitely true. But Hagrid does have that intent.
I don't know. I feel like honestly, I feel like Hagrid kind of like asks to get the work done, but like Vision like tells people to get the work. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I don't know then. Man, I don't know. I really want this to be a whole like poetry community conversation. Like this has to be a thing. We have to. We have to have levels.
Who did you say was like the head? I'm curious about this. Who did you say was the headmaster?
Well, we did Baltimore first. So with Baltimore, Black Chakra was Professor Snaps. Like instead of Snape, it was Snaps. I was Harriet Potter. Grim Jackson was Malfoy, but mouth off.
Wow.
I couldn't find a Rhonda Weasley, or well, no, it was some of the poets I don't think you've met yet. But let's see, I'm trying to think. You've met Kenneth.
Yeah. Oh wait, who's Kenneth?
Kenneth something.
Yeah, no. Who is he though?
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't think we add him. I think we're gonna say he's Professor Dumbledore.
I was actually kind of thinking that.
Yeah,
I see that.
we really went in deep. We even had a Voldemort, but we can't do that on air. I can't. It's gonna start some mess. Like we had the evil side down pat. Like I feel like every scene has like that. It's like the people that are here for the work, and then the people that I don't necessarily see them as bad people, but they do put a bad name on the scenes, kinda, if that makes sense.
I mean, I can't name no people, but I could say I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. I know. Yeah, I'm just. You don't gotta name people. It's fine. We know, but we know what you're talking about, and you know what we're talking about. But speaking of having that that side of your poetry scenes, and like I don't believe in poetry beef, because poets can't have beef. Like that's just not a thing. Except for Black Chakra. Black Chakra finds a way. I don't know how.
Why do you think poets can have beef?
I don't know. It just seems so weird. It's like, why you a poet? You gonna have a diss poem about them? I would do that though.
I don't know. I feel like just because I've actually seen the beef, sometimes. just, so I feel like I can't deny that poets are capable of it. I think that, like we are poets, so, I guess we're human too.
Oh yeah, we are also people. I forgot about that. I be thinking we're superheroes sometimes.
We're not all superheroes.
Oh yeah, we're not all superheroes. That sucks. All right. All right, well, Crystal, so it's about that time. I wanted to ask you, did you want to do a poem for this show?
I definitely can. It might not be any hot fire, but
no, we always get the exclusives for some reason. Like, you could go ahead and do whatever you want.
I might stumble on it. But I just wrote this poem. If you'll have it.
Okay.
Okay. Want me to just read it right now?
Yeah. If you're ready.
Okay. It has come to my attention that I do not and have never had a white ally, and I wonder about the safety pins said white allies have pricked into the fabric of their shirts. And I wonder about the origin of your shirt. If I can find an ancestor's scent pressed into the strands of it. About how many times a cis white hand must prick the blood out of cotton just to claim it as theirs. And I wonder if you volunteered your safety pins and it places you in the realm of something akin to a racialized Tinder profile. And I wonder if I can swipe left if I do not want you. And I wonder if not wanting a white person is the crime Black people have been paying for all these years. And I wonder if not wanting a white person is the cause of slavery. And I wonder if a life sentence can be passed through a generation. And I wonder what are your ally credentials. And I wonder if you can please first submit a resume. And I wonder what's your schedule like for a follow-up interview. And I wonder if before instating you as my ally, can I please run your fingerprints. And I wonder if a long white list of microaggressions will fold out from your palms. And I wonder that if you are an ally that is not wanted, that makes you an ally of just another perpetrator who does not understand the full meaning of consent. And I wonder what is consent to an American flag that dug its pole past the grass of an unbending earth. And I wonder where were your safety pins when the body count was rising. And I wonder if your straight metal can combat the curved bend of a bullet. And I wonder if instead of a Black mother's daughter, it would have been your torso or your arm given up to feed the hungry machine. And I wonder if a white person's intentions will ever not outweigh the sinking corpse's impact. And I wonder if you are down for the cause. And I wonder if you're trying to steal some of my liberation, even though you've never felt the rust of metal suffocating your wrists. And I wonder if you know that I see you, white ally, trying to rebuild a plantation in the soil of my shadow. And how does it feel to be on the other side of suspicion? And I wonder that if in the event a white fist tries to kill me, I can tell them that I own a white ally. And imagine that, a Black person fixing their mouth to say they own a white thing. And I wonder what part of history must break for my murderous white fist to believe me. That's the problem.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Dope.
That was amazing. Okay. I've been waiting for those safety pin poems, man.
I'm glad you touched on that.
We actually was talking about that for a little bit before the show. It's like, y'all, we need more than a symbol. We need more, and that's and that was a dumb symbol nonetheless. Just saying. Safety pins are for clothes, you guys, not for races. It's not gonna help.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I think there's so many things wrong with the safety pins. Like there's so many layers to it, And yeah, I mean, not only is it stupid, but it's just the fact that like it's kind of like I think making this more about the ally than about the person.
Right.
Or the marginalized person who needs help, and why I always trying to protect us in secret and.
Yeah, it's not like anybody gonna be like, "Oh, I see you have a safety pin on your jacket." Oh my gosh, that must mean you support black people. No, that's not what they're like. Why do you have a random hole in your jacket, dude? Anyway, thank you so much, Crystal, for being on the show. I really, really hope you enjoyed your time here with us.
I hope that I was lively enough for you.
Oh no, no. I hope. I mean, yeah, you were great. I'm like trying to figure out how I'm going to stay up for the next couple of minutes. But I really hope I get to see you again in Baltimore. And especially with MPS this year, I don't really get to travel much, so I just use slams as an excuse to travel and be like, please give me money to go places. Yeah, or
I mean, I hope I see you before NPS though.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm actually doing this project where I'm going to the different youth scenes and hanging out with them and writing articles about how it started and how it's becoming a concrete thing and how can we connect different youth scenes. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, so I'm starting with the East Coast because that's easy money to go. Like I don't got the bills. So yeah, so hopefully I can come to New York very soon. Especially when people start seeing the work that comes out of this. So hopefully again. I'm gonna email you, be like, yo, Crystal, can you help me get there? You be like, I would.
Definitely would love to see you out here on top.
Our 2015 Youth Poll Laureate is coming there for school. Derek Ebert.
Oh wait, what school is he going to?
I think he applied to NYU. Yeah, gang. He applied to I think a few other schools there, but he's definitely going to be in New York.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I come and mess with him, I'm gonna be like, hey, everybody else. I'm gonna be like, bye, Derek. Okay, gotta go see everybody else. Okay, so thank you so much, Crystal.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for giving me, of course, this chance to speak and sharing your platform with me. I do appreciate it.
Oh, man. Stop. You're making me blush. Okay. Please enjoy the rest of your night, and I hope you feel okay. I know you said you were at the doctor and everything.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of I don't know. I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But, and I hope you get some rest.
Yes, yeah, both of us. Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Yay. Okay. Oh my God. It was Crystal. Crystal Valentine was on my show. Oh my God. Okay, I'm back. Okay. All right. I had to get myself together. Yeah. So the first time I met Crystal, I was like, who is this this goddess of poetry here? Like, oh my God. Cause she had the big white hair and she had all the statement jewelry, big. I was like, yo, this is my style inspiration right here. So I've been dramatic ever since. Okay, Rihanna Beat, you need to calm down just a little bit. All right, so I think we're good. I think we're gonna end off with a Crystal Valentine poem or whatever. And we're going to see y'all later. Oh, but first, where can we find y'all at on social media?
You can find me on Twitter at LosG2, Instagram LosG1, just Los G, letter G, 1.
You can find me at Becky Roses on Instagram. I don't really follow my Twitter, but you can look at some of my band's music on SoundCloud. It's Middle Class Apartment and the Band of Misfits. Facebook.
Yes. Okay, you're not gonna give out your government, right? Don't do that.
Same thing. The Band of Misfits and Middle Class Apartment. Facebook, SoundCloud.
All right, and you can follow me everywhere but my house at Mechamorphosis, MECCA Morphosis, like Metamorphosis with just 2 C's. I don't know. I'm thinking about changing my poetry name since y'all can't spell at all. Anyway, it's no, I love y'all. Y'all can spell. You're important to me. Anyway.
Nice save.
Look out for that article on the Philly team. That's where I went first on my little project. And also look out for some more links to figuring some more easy ways to find streaming for our show. All right, so this was Soapbox Poetry Radio. Speak outside the box. Thank you, Rihanna, for them yes. Okay, please stop. Oh my gosh, this is scary. Anyway, this is Crystal Valentine's poem. But okay, bye. All right, I gotta go.
Black privilege is the hung elephant swinging in the room, is the memory of a slave ship praying for the Alzheimer's to kick in. Black privilege is me having already memorized my nephew's eulogy, my brother's eulogy, my father's eulogy, my unconceived child's eulogy. Black privilege is me pretending like my sister's name is safe from this list. Black privilege is me pretending like I know Trayvon Martin on a first name basis. Is me using a dead boy's name to win a poetry slam. Is me carrying a mouthful of other people's skeletons to use at my own convenience. Black privilege is the concrete that holds my breath better than my lungs do. Black privilege is being so unique that not even God will look like me. God privilege is still being the first person in line to meet him. Black privilege is having to have the same sense of humor as Jesus. Remember how he laughed on the cross? The same way Malcolm X laughed at his bullet, and there I go again, asserting my black privilege, using a dead man's name without his permission. I can feel his bones congregating in my mouth. Black privilege is a myth, is a joke, is a punchline. Is the time a teacher asks a little boy what he wanted to be when he grew up and he said alive. Is the way she smiled when she said there's no college, for that ignorance is the only thing that won't discriminate against you. Is the only thing that don't need a tombstone to learn your name, and it's tiring, you know? For everything about my skin to be a metaphor, for everything black to be pun intended, to be deaf intended. Black privilege is the applause at the end of this poem. Is me giving you a dead boy's body and you giving me a 10. Is me being okay with that. I tried writing a love poem the other day, but my fingers wouldn't move. My skin started to blister like it didn't trust me anymore. Like it thought I was trying to trade in this noose for a pearl necklace. Some days I'm afraid to look into the mirror for fear that a bullet George Zimmerman its way into my chest while I was asleep. The breath in my mouth is weapon enough to scare a courtroom. I'll be lucky if I'm alive to make it to the stand. For some people, their trials live longer than they do. Black privilege is knowing that if I die, at least Al Sharpton will come to my funeral. At least Al Sharpton will mason jar my mother's tears, remind us that the only thing we are worthy of is our death. We are judged by the number of people it takes to carry our caskets. Black privilege is me being okay with that. It's me thinking that's enough, that this poem is enough. Black privilege is this? Is this breath in my lungs right now? Is me standing here with a crowd full of witnesses to my heartbeat?